What are you excited for let's say the next 10 years?
You can't even.
I know, but
you can max look like 3 months ahead.
I'm very excited to build Founders Accelerator, our info product. That's sort of the only thing that's on my mind right now. I really want to scale the agency as well. But really building a community of ambitious South Africans specifically, and giving South Africans a out in the current market that is in South Africa. Like, they're just struggling to make ends meet. I really see there's a big movement in the online business space, and we want to be in the forefront of that.
Essentially pioneering
the online business space in South Africa. That's our big goal, and that is something that I'm very excited for the next 5 to 10 years.
Dude, I'll tell you what I'm most excited about. When I think about what excites me, there's only one thing that excites me. And it's being able to have someone come up to me and say, you changed my life. Because we talked about, again, earlier in the podcast, how an epiphany, a revelation, is the most powerful marketing tool you can use. Because what a revelation is you've given someone insight onto the trajectory they're currently taking, being unlikely to get them to their dream outcome, and they need to take a new trajectory. You change someone's life flash. It changes their belief, which therefore changes their actions, because belief is based on action, which therefore changes their state, their being, their existence, because your state, your outcome is based on your actions. And so when you give someone a revelation, an epiphany, it changes their life entirely, results in them reaching their apogee, self-actualization, the highest level of Maslow's hierarchy. And that's why the few people who have given me revelations, Martin Garrix, for example, put me on to wanting to pursue music. People in the business space like Russell Brunson, who I think is the greatest modern internet marketer of all time, helped me move from systems to understanding persuasion and personal branding, right? And so these two people are people that, regardless of what the price tag is, I will always pay them. I pay them $50,000. I pay Martin Garrix $100,000 to be in a studio for a week with him, because they've changed my life. And if I make millions of dollars, and more importantly, if I impact millions of lives, if I have millions of memories in my life, it's due to those people in my mind. And so I think revelations are the biggest, or the most important thing in life. And I think the way that I camped out, I moved across the world and camped out to meet Martin Garrix. I see people throw these masterminds and these events. I see Tony Robbins throw an event and have people come up to him. They're like, hey, I just flew 20 hours for this event because you changed my life. You saved my life. You made me go from this to this. And that's so fucking cool to actually have an impact on the entire lifeline of someone's human experience.
I love that.
On 50 years of impact. Yeah. It's not 10 minutes of impact you create by giving someone that revelation. It's 80 years of impact. It's their lifetime. It's insane.
And it trickles down, and that once again shows the power of personal brand.
Yeah.
If Russell Brunson didn't post YouTube videos, you would not have had that revelation. He would not have impacted millions of other people. Yeah. Those millions of other people would not have started personal brands and also impacted millions of other people. It's like you are now starting your thing and you're impacting millions of people because of him. And now the people you are impacting are going to also start something and impact millions of people. It's like just that one thing of Russell Brunson literally caused 1 billion people's lives to change.
It's amplifying connection.
That's the cost of, and people are like, oh, I don't want to start a personal brand. It's like, that is the cost of that. Well, that's the reward. It's like impacting potentially 1 billion people, but the cost is like privacy.
Yeah.
So, that's when Alex Emosi was like, I want to be the silent wealth guy. And then this one guy's like, you're really gonna not impact millions of people because you want to be private? That's the cost.
It goes out to the goal, because like his goal, I remember that. I think he said something about he wanted to impact.
I didn't say that exactly,
people,
but I paraphrased.
And there's a. Are you familiar with the Founders Podcast from David Sendra?
No.
If not,
oh my gosh,
I love it. You need to watch it.
So it's the Tony Robbins video and then Founders Podcast. Yeah.
And so he's basically his entire offers basically. He just reads biographies of history's greatest founders, and he does an episode of each book each week, basically. So,
it's so good.
Yeah. Anyways, he interviewed someone who basically who's that Eck or
Daniel Eck.
Daniel Eck, who's the
Spotify guy.
Spotify founder, right? And he basically just said, if you are a entrepreneurial archetype, right, someone who is an entrepreneur, you need to focus on impact instead of revenue, right?
Or happiness.
Or happiness or whatever, because impact is going to lead to happiness for you as an entrepreneur, right? And revenue and capital has this funny way to follow
Impact.
value and impact, right? The more the businesses with the biggest impact that adds the most value will make all the businesses with the most impact that generates the most value, money flows to those businesses.
Albert Einstein knew this from the beginning. He says, don't become a man of success, become a man of value.
Yeah.
Basically that.
Okay, so we talked about this earlier, how the greatest form of intelligence is actually to be able to take a complicated concept and make it simple. So right? You have something that has all these components and you want to make it quantifiable and understandable, especially if it's abstract. So I try to do this whenever possible for clients or audience. And the idea of the person who focuses on impact instead of revenue always ends up succeeding. What is the scientific reason behind focusing on impact instead of revenue will actually make you more revenue and income? It's because success in business is a game of minimizing unknown variables, right? And so we talked about this already. There's all these unknowns and you want to try to focus on the next steps in the process. So revenue is actually the final variable. And so it doesn't make sense to focus on the final variable. If you want to, it just doesn't make logical sense. If you want to put on 500 pounds of muscle, or if you want to put on 10 pounds of lean muscle, you can't just say, I'm going to focus on putting on 10 pounds of lean muscle. You need to understand, I need a certain caloric surplus. I need a certain level of macros. I need a certain amount of sleep. I need a certain amount of rest, all these things. And when you focus on revenue, you're actually skipping all of the ingredients to make a cake. It's like trying to make a cake without going shopping first, right? And so impact is a step earlier. So it reduces a level, it reduces my own variable. Because now you can look, okay, what does it take me to make impact? I need to actually learn how to get client results. I need to reach a lot of people, etc. Right? But revenue is actually an abstract term, even though it's a number. And that's why people fail to make revenue when they focus on revenue. Right? Russell Brunson, just to kind of wrap this up, again, the idea of making complex things simple. I paid Russell Brunson for 5 minutes of his time to answer one question. The one question is, we've learned how to add so much value for personal brands in different areas. We teach them how to make their offer easy to sell and easy to scale. We teach them how to generate attention at little to no acquisition cost. We teach them how to educate at the highest level. We teach them how to convert attention automatically. We teach all of these things, and I'm lost on how to communicate this complex offer in simple terms. How do I pitch this? How do I pitch all of these things in a short amount of sentences? And the 5 minutes I paid for with Russell Brunson, what he told me is you don't. You don't communicate the value because it's a lie. You're not providing 7 different things to your audience. You're providing one. And your job is to discover what that one thing is. You have to find a common denominator across all the value you can provide. And it might seem difficult. Offer, conversion, education, attention. But I promise you, if you were as an individual able to learn how to provide value in all these fields, it's because you have a common denominator. You have a skill set. And you have to understand what your zone of genius is that allowed you to be successful in each of these things. What is the one core ingredient or element that you're applying in all of these different fields? And so it made me realize it was the psychology of persuasion. It's understanding the neuroscience behind a decision-making behavior. And by understanding that, that's what I was able to apply at the offer level, the acquisition level, the education level, and the conversion level. And so we went from trying to sell our antithesis offer and our belief shifting letter and our productized service ladder and our roadmap marketing and our pissed acquisition and all these things individually to selling 7-figure persuasion, the psychology of high ticket sales and how to get someone to take an action at every step of your funnel effortlessly.
That's why I absolutely love, for example, like VSL, what you just said previously, it's almost just comparing your product with current solutions out there and why this one works better. But the beauty of this is you also spoke about the unknown unknowns, right? That is almost in the marketing that you can explain all those unknown unknowns, but then leading with the main solution, like you just mentioned, because you're actually only solving one main problem, but it's still making them aware that there are, because our product as well, we are solving so many different things, but something that we're struggling with as well is how to really communicate that to an audience that doesn't even understand the problems.
You never share that.
And
because people don't buy the plane ticket, they buy whatever. People are buying a future, not a feature. People want quarter-inch holes, not quarter-inch drills. It's like they are buying the outcome. That's all you focus on. Is what the feeling, not the feature. The end. Just like you don't buy the plane ticket, you buy the destination.
Do you mind if I add something? I don't
Please.
The idea that people don't buy the plane ticket, they buy the destination. I actually disagree with that. I believe they buy escaping their current location. They buy the outcome of not achieving that outcome, of what happens if you don't go to that destination, right? Because everyone knows in our space that the brain is 3 times more motivated by the avoidance of pain than the pursuit of pleasure.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yet, everyone in their offers is focusing on the dream outcome. We'll get you 90 appointments in 30 days, or you don't pay and we'll give you $5,000 back. Everyone's doing these $100 million offers. And I think Alex Hormozi is obviously one of the goats in the space. And he's a lot smarter than I am. He's more successful than I am. And I think the only real measure of intelligence is you can get what you want in your life. But at the same time, I still think I have the right to disagree with certain theses that people who are more successful than me have. And because I don't believe that the mean way of doing things in the industry is always the best. It just has the best trade-off for inputs to output. So $100 million offer might require this amount of input to get this amount of output. But if you put this amount of input in, you can actually get this amount of output. It's not worth it for most people, but it's worth it for me because I'm hungry to be the best. And so I don't actually think a $100 million offer framework is the best way to make an offer, right? In our acquisition, we do the opposite. We don't focus on the same way we don't focus on qualifying our offer, we focus on disqualifying the market's offers. We don't focus on qualifying the pain, we focus on we don't focus on qualifying the pleasure or the outcome, we focus on disqualifying the pain. So what does that mean? Instead of me focusing on, hey, we're gonna help you get ripped and you're gonna get a six pack, we focus on being able to avoid the fact that
the shame of
your
being
wife sleeps
overweight.
with you twice a month. You don't feel sexy when you go to the beach. You won't take your shirt off. You wear a shirt to the pool as a grown man.
Yeah.
Your kids are asking you why you have rolls on your stomach, right? You feel like the laughing stock of your friend group. Like all of these things, all of this pain is what you're selling. It's avoiding that pain. But it goes deeper than that even. Something I taught at the mastermind yesterday at Dylan's mastermind was most people focus on surface level pain. There's 3 levels of pain. Pain is an emotion. Pain is related to emotions, but emotions aren't real. Emotions are temporary. The human brain can actually only retain an emotion for 90 seconds, right? The human brain can only retain an emotion for 90 seconds. If we experience pain longer than 90 seconds, it's because we're choosing to re-enter the loop. We're reliving the same memory of the pain we just experienced.
Almost a belief then.
Exactly. You're putting yourself on replay of the same 90-second period, but the brain actually can only process an emotion in our nervous system that goes through our nervous system for 90 seconds. So pain isn't who we are. We can't internalize it. We lose it after 90 seconds. You're not anger. You're not sadness. These things come to us and they leave us, right? What are we? A level deeper than pain is internalized. It's identity. And a level deeper than identity is shame. It's how we look at ourselves. Same way that self-actualization is a level deeper. It's how we look at ourselves and how the world views us as a result of our identity, right? So let's look at that.
Almost self-image.
Yeah. A level 1 marketer will market the dream outcome. We'll scale you to 10K per month. The level 2 marketer will market the pain of not achieving the dream outcome. You are unable to get to 10K per month. You have no money. You're stuck at 0K per month. You can't get clients. You're struggling every single week trying to get a new client, but no one wants to buy from you. Okay, cool. Level 2, pain. But like, solving pain is actually a nice to have. It's something we can still deal with. Like, I'm not making 10K per month. I don't need to survive. My survival isn't based on that. And again, our success is based on the pursuit of survival. That's how our brain works, the pursuit of survival. So, okay, it's not a burning hand problem. It's not like I have my hand on a burning stove to see that I'm not making 10K per month. What is closer to a burning hand problem? It's like if your hand is on a stove, I look at like marketing the dream outcome as like 1 out of like 10. You're on low heat, right? If you go to the pain, you're kind of on like medium heat. If you go to identity, how do people look at you as a result of you being in that pain? What's the identity behind not being able to scale to 10 figures per month after being in your business for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? Maybe people look at you as broke, stupid,
Incompetent.
lazy, untalented, average, mediocre, nothing special, not worth considering, not a good long-term partner, right? You're now you're at medium pain, right? Medium to high pain. What goes a level deeper than that? Deeper than identity, the person you are, is your worldview of yourself based on that identity. Shame. What does having this identity of being broke, average, incompetent, lazy, untalented mean? My wife doesn't respect me. I can't provide for my family. I'm the laughingstock of my friend group because I've been trying to scale my little business for 10 years and I can't be a provider. I might not be able to maintain a long-term relationship, which can't ensure my survival because I'm not a worthwhile partner, right? That shame, being ashamed of those things is actually what's going to now drive us on a psychological level to take action, because making 10K per month won't ensure our survival. What will ensure our survival is ensuring that we're not ostracized by our community, by our tribe, that we can find a long-term mate so we can ensure the survival of our bloodline, because our genetics on a cellular level are only wired to do one thing, and that's procreate. That's it. The only thing we're wired to do on a genetic level is to ensure our survival and the survival of our bloodline. That's it. And so the only way to actually get someone to guarantee to take an action is to be able to tap into that deepest level of dark psychology by making someone think subconsciously and abstractly that not clicking your ad, not reading your landing page copy, not clicking your VSL will end their bloodline. It's insane. It goes deep, right?
Yeah,
and so that's why we call our acquisition pissed acquisition. Pain, identity, shame on the front end, and on the back end, offering a solution to relieve that. Solution, education, drive to action. Pissed acquisition. That's how we market it, right? It's deep, it's dark, but I want someone pissed as hell watching my ads. I want them so angry at their identity and the shame that they're feeling that the only way to remove that identity and shame in that moment is to click the ad and take that next step.
Yeah. Wow, that's very cool. That's a really cool way to look at it.
First acquisition.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I love that.